Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video we have something pretty cool to test today. In my previous videos we have spoken about the RetroStation many times, but this time it's going to be the new model called the PC Pro. The name already says it, this is a PC version, but what are we going to get inside the box itself? The first thing we're going to take a close look is the controller. So the controller they are always going to give you with the RetroStation 40K and all the other models is this version. I don't know exactly how it's called, simply because it's a kind of a weird non-branded. There is no label that basically indicate what kind of model, but I personally really love the way how it feels. I do got some extra grips at the back, got some normal triggers, and also the D-pad feels very nice. And overall a very nice quality controller, something you don't see very often with these devices in general. Inside box number 2, when we're going to open it up, what you can see over here, we do get ourselves like an extra keyboard, very convenient. And of course we're going to get ourselves the power supply. But yeah, he did give me the right one, very nice. But let's take a close look at the system itself. Wow, this thing is heavy. I already mentioned that the system is quite heavy, but let's take a close look at the weight itself. In total we're going to have on 741 grams when it comes to the weight. But personally I really like the overall design of this device. What do I mean with overall design? So first of all, the case quality. The top part is made out of plastic. At the bottom we're going to get ourselves a very nice metal bottom. That's basically what gives the weight to this. They also call this mini computer the NT12. Here you can see like it has indeed the i5 1135G7 and it uses 65 watts. But let's do a quick overview of the system itself. But let's take a close look at all the ports at the back. We're going to get 4 USB port 3.0, then we have like an RJ45 connection, an input for the power supply, 2 HDMI outputs, and of course we have all the connectivity that we're going to need, especially when you're looking at the 4 ports. I'm very happy with this, because we're going to need a couple of, let's say, extra ports, because this time we're going to use Windows for emulation. At the front we're going to get ourselves the on-off switch, it's quite convenient. At the front we're going to get a Type-C connection for charging. Then we have like 2 normal USB ports for the controllers. And then we have like 2 jack connections, one for the microphone and the other one for the headphone. So at the side we do get ourselves the ventilation at the left and at the right. So let's do a quick recap of the specifications. We're going to get ourselves the Intel i5 1135, comes with 16GB of DDR4. We do have an SSD built in for Windows, that will be Windows 10 Pro. We have like functionality for 4K support, and 2TB drive that will be only for the games and emulation performance. And I already mentioned we do have like an HDMI out and USB 3.2. Yeah. The only thing I'm having with this freaking controller, normally I don't have any issues whatsoever, but I've plugged in all of the dongles and you can see there is no connection whatsoever. I cannot sync it, it doesn't work, so I'm going to get myself a different controller. So let's get myself the bootup. I really love this controller, very difficult to find on AliExpress, but nevertheless this one is with a cable, so no mumbo jumbo with the dongle. Let's go. But also today we're going to do it slightly different. Where we normally have like Botacera running, I'm a big fan of Botacera simply because it's just a Linux based, very stable system. But now we do have like Windows and we're going to do it with a completely different interface. So let's take a close look at it, let's boot it up and yeah, let's see if it's worth it. So when booting up, this is the thing that we're going to get. The first thing I really hate is this Smart Game Booster. Remove that crap. So here we have like a shortcut to the RetroStation. And that's basically what we're going to do. Click on it. The loading time is slightly longer because it got stuck on the RetroStation for a minute or so. But don't be afraid. At first I was thinking, okay, it's going to be freezing doing anything anymore. But when you're going to start to wait, you will see it load up the interface. So when booted up, this is the menu we're going to get. So what you can see is that we have like a lot of similarities with Botacera and emulation support. But I mainly want to focus on the high-end stuff, because on a box like this we can play so many, let's say, basic games. But of course the positive side with Windows is you can implement your own games, maybe with Steam, and just play it. Of course we don't have like a lot of big GPU power, so we do have like some limitations over there. But let's just take a close look at some games just to see how it will run. When you take a close look at the things, how it all looks, I do like it, but I find it a little bit messy. I personally just have like one big list that gives me like a way better overview than basically like this. Like this is such a like mess in my opinion. I really love the logos and all the things, but yeah, it's not super great if you ask me. Alright, so let's take a close look at the first game for Sega Dreamcast, just to see how it runs. You know, like most of these systems can now run Sega Dreamcast without any problem. And just for fun, let's see how it runs out of the box. Alright, so next up, let's try some Sega Naomi and with some Dead Alive 2. One of my favorite fighting games. And a great benchmark. Come on. Full speed, can instantly say that. It's like absolutely ring amazing. But take consideration, this is not really special, simply because we do have like a lot of systems that can run Sega Dreamcast and Naomi nowadays. But it's just great to see that it runs very well. Let's take a close look at some Sega Saturn and one of my favorite games, Loaded, because this is an absolutely cool game. Oh, there it is. But so far so good, and everything seems to be running just fine. But let's try a different game, Panzer Dragoon, that is more, I say, demanding. But I think it's pretty damn cool that we do have like some system that actually can play Sega Saturn. I've noticed it getting more optimized now. But again, depending what kind of system you're playing on. When it comes to Battlesera, Windows, or what kind of power you're having when it comes to the PC. And of course not to forget the resolution you want to play it on. I know a lot of systems will run it just fine now. But what I do like about when you're going to get some PlayStation 1 now on some more, let's say higher powered devices, we can even run it on higher resolutions. It looks absolutely amazing playing these old games, and not like amazing like we have like super high graphics now. It still looks like hideous nowadays, but you get the point. So playing this game on PlayStation 2 emulator on Windows absolutely like pointless, because you can basically play the game without any hassle on high resolution on your PC nowadays, but I just want to give you an example. We do have like a lot of glitching going on. We have like stable FPS, but the glitching is quite annoying. Alright, so let's take a close look at some action. Kind of cool is the rumble function seems to be working on my controller. Yeah, so I just wanted to check out a different game to see if it actually like has no glitch whatsoever, but it's completely messed up. Look at the selection screen. Okay, so let's play a little bit. So far so good. So let's get into the PlayStation Portable and just to see how it runs. Personally really like the bezel, it's kind of cool, but... Ooh, we do have some flickering that is not like it should be, but... kind of annoying. But with PCs like this we're going to get an amazing FPS. Another thing I really like, besides having like great, let's say, performance when it comes to the frames per second, you're also going to get yourself like amazing like quality, because you can upscale the games depending on what kind of game it is. Alright, so let's just move it up to PlayStation 3. We're going to try out just a basic game, just to see how that actually runs, but I was surprised it runs pretty damn good so far. Of course, this is just a part of the tutorial. Alright, so let's get in a more demanding game for PlayStation 3. And also this seems to be running quite nice. Take consideration, like when it comes to PlayStation 3, it's a question like what game is basically like running the best with an emulator. So it will be a hit or miss, but if you want to play certain games, you should like do some more research in this. But so far I can see this game seems to be running very well. For the main benchmark, I just wanted to try out some Tekken 3, but unfortunately there is no audio. And if you want to try Tekken Tag Tournament, the other problem is that it doesn't boot up. So I was a little bit disappointed seeing this, because they are like absolutely amazing game to play on Mame, but they don't work at all. So that should be fixed. The overall performance will be great under Mame, but you can see like, even if you're going to boot up Tekken 1, Tekken 2 by the way didn't even boot up. So they're like the things that you need to fix. I find it always like a little bit of a problem. It's all fun and game, we have so many options, but configuring and just seems to be not working. That's mostly like a big issue for me. But I just wanted to try out some Mame with some killer instinct, because this is a system that cannot be run on some cheaper devices. I'm going to get my ass whooped here. Oh yeah, I'm going to get my ass whooped here. Did I even hit the guy? No, I didn't. Of course we need to move to the other part, just to see how it runs. Oh yeah, one of my favorite soundtracks of the game. What the? Oh, okay. Besides the glitching in the beginning, it seems to be running just fine. So let's start off with another problem, always is N64, just to see how we're going to get some good performance. Of course, let's choose my red Ferrari, just to see how it runs. But bullets here, we do have some, let's say, mixed performance, depending what kind of course power you're having. But I don't expect to have any problems with quite a powerful PC. I just wanted to do a quick other test. GoldenEye, this is absolutely my favorite game to play on this. That's kind of funny, so if you're going to play it on a more powerful PC, we do have like greater performance and it looks so much better than the original system. Okay. Alright, so next up is the GameCube part. It always taught us in the beginning. Let's see how it works in the menu. Also here we're going to get a lot of stuttering normally. Of course, Zero GX, my #1 game to play on the GameCube. I love to play it on my original GameCube too. But I'm really curious how it will perform. Because now we have reached the point with this i5 that we do have like a lot of power. But is it enough to run this game? We do have some hiccups. I think it's forgivable. Oh! But basically this is the reason why I love to play it on a very high powered PC, to have like the perfect emulation, or just use my original GameCube. Because I find it super annoying with just a fast racing game like this that it stutters sometimes. Alright, so far so good. But as we keep playing, you do see some minor or non-stutters at all. Alright, so next up let's try some Nintendo Wii. Do have some stutters here and there. Man, oh man, it does struggle. Alright, so let's take a closer look at some Wii U with some Tekken. I love Tekken. With the Wii, we did have some hiccups here and there. So I'm really curious how it's going to be working with the Wii U. Where are my characters? This is Ghost Tekken. Something is happening, don't know what. See, that is the stuff that I really hate. That it just like put stuff on a system that is not really compatible for some reason why. Oh man. But what I also like about it, because it's running on Windows, we can even like implement our Steam and just have a lot of fun with it. So indie games, what you can see with Street of Rage 4 will not be any problem whatsoever. Having a stable FPS of 60 on full HD. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is put it on a very low resolution, because if you're not going to do that, the game is going to be freaking unplayable. So let's try some Street Fighter. I don't see it going to be running at all. Okay, I've put everything on low settings, low resolution, and we do get some actually good gameplay now. So that's going to be not a problem whatsoever. So what I really like about this, even the cheap mini PCs, we have the option to play some awesome fighting games. But okay, so let's take a close look in the inside and let's do a quick teardown. So teardown is going to be quite easy because you only need to remove the 4 screws over here, and let's flip it to the side over here and just see what we're going to get. So over here we do have like a very easy way to replace the hard drive. This is the 2 TB that was basically promised on the box, and it is indeed here. Another thing is quite interesting, we still have like an extra slot for a special M2 SSD if you want to basically upgrade this. So there's another option. The only thing is like we're only using one like stick of RAM, and I understand like when you're only using one of it and one of the 2 slots, yeah, we do have like less performance. So it's kind of interesting that he chosen to put like one DIMM in here, 16 GB. It's indeed the amount that was promised, but I think it was smarter to put 2 times 8 GB in here to have like dual channel and better performance. So after using this thing for a couple of hours, you can feel there's a lot of heat coming from the main board. But what I really like about it is that you can also feel that the bottom plate is consuming a lot of the heat. Maybe it's kind of weird to say it like that, but the overall performance, but also the cooling is very nice. So let's close it back up and let's talk about what I think of it. The RetroStation PC Pro is quite interesting, surprisingly like not bad at all. So first of all, I really love the case itself, the way how this thing feels, how it like say not getting really hot, and just the looks in general. Enough ports to connect everything. I was surprised by that it was using basically Windows for its backend. I'm more like a Sega fan, but I'm guessing maybe for compatibility with some emulators. Also, when you're looking at say PlayStation 3, a lot of systems seem to be running just fine with this. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to have Windows on this or Sega? I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and just let me know also what do you think of this and is it worth your money? And it would be great to see you in the next video.